Welcome back to the Sportsmax Zone. Well, 5 games were played today in the round of 16 stage in the UEFA Europa League. At the new camp in form, Barcelona welcomed the challenge of Turkish heavyweights Galatasaray. We have the highlights.
It's Galatasaray who will get the match underway. And this round of 16 tie in the UEFA Europa League is underway. Mohamed in the centre, Feghouli not far away as well. Ryan Babel coming forward. Aktoglu's done really well here. He's done superbly well, but not quite well enough to find the back of the net. And deflection prevented what could easily have been the opening goal of this tie. In and tipped over the top by Peña. Dest, Traore, away from Aktoglu. Great play. Improvisation. Oh, it's off the post. Here it is once again. Excellent play from Adama Traore. With Kutlu forward and layoff by Aktoglu to Van Aanholt into Bafétimbi Gomes! And Gomes has slammed the ball into the back of Ter Stegen's net. But Galatasaray may not have their moment. Just got a touch, Dembele. Block made by Marcao. Little look at the watch by referee Benoit Bastien. And there goes the final whistle.
And at the end of that final whistle, no goals between both teams. Well, in the day's early kickoff, 6-time champion Sevilla hosted West Ham. Let's take a look at those highlights.
Sending out an important message against all forms of racial discrimination. So it's West Ham in their traditional claret and blue. Sevilla in their home colours, white with the black socks. Held on and helped it to Oliver Torres. Acuna in. And it's a token dive from Areola. Knew it was going wide. Knocked down by Antonio. Vlasic. Vlasic with the shot. Not a bad try. And West Ham get the corner that they've claimed. Nothing too testing for Alphonse Areola tonight yet. Something different here. Oh, that was brilliantly done. How well executed was that from Sevilla? And he's arguably taken the most difficult one of the lot. What about that for a finish? Cunha spots him, and he moves onto it at just the right time. On the bounce, past a helpless Areola. Look at the West Ham defenders. You can see how shocked and surprised they are. And Sevilla have the lead. Beautifully done.
Well, Sevilla taking that 1-0 win against West Ham, and of course West Ham not capitalising on their chances. Well, in the day's other games, on Wednesday in the round's early matches, Olympique Lyon away in the Dragon Stadium clipped Porto 1-0, and Real Betis at home to Frankfurt lost 2-1. The game between Germany's RB Leipzig and Russia's Spartak Moscow, the club of Jamaica international Shamar Nicholson, was declared a walkover. With all Russian teams banned from UEFA competitions, Leipzig advanced to the last 8 without kicking a ball. Well, staying with the topic of suspension, Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich is in real trouble with the UK government after it ordered that all his assets be frozen with immediate effect. The decision has dealt a serious blow to the club's operations and has severely compromised Abramovich's ability to push through the sale of his most prized British-based asset. Under the terms of the freeze order, Chelsea will still be allowed to play football games, but must pay the salaries of players and staff, provide stewards, security and food, drinks for fans subject to a £500,000 spending cap, receive TV broadcasting revenues and prize money. Although this will be frozen, The terms of the freeze also means that the sale of the club can potentially proceed as long as Abramovich does not benefit financially. So, what else can they or can they not do? They cannot sell tickets to home or away fans. Only existing ticket holders will be allowed to attend. They cannot agree to any new transfers or contracts. They cannot sell merchandise at the stadium or online. Can't spend more than 20,000 on away or travel. They cannot carry out any building work on Stamford Bridge. So, George and Lance, what does this mean for Chelsea?
Well, to begin with, it's not a good look for the reigning UEFA Champions League holders who are in the middle of knockout action in the Champions League. They have Lille as their opponents. I guess most people would accept that their title chase domestically has hit a huge snag. But overall, as a club and its prospects in the current season, wouldn't need this kind of humbug.
This was always on the cards. The moment Abramovich moved to sell the club, and people thought that, well, not even altruism, a sense of remorse had set in, and he was trying to get rid of the club. No, not to get rid of the club. Try to put the club in order first and then try to sell it right. And that he was giving the proceeds away and this was all altruistic of him. No, he was just trying to protect his own investment. He was trying to sell it and get money from it before the British government took it away from him. It was inevitable. The walls were closing in from the moment he was mentioned in Parliament, and from an early report that had named him among persons who the British government was looking at sanctioning for their role in various arrangements with the Russian state. It is terrible for the club. You mentioned their UEFA Champions League status as defending champions. They are the reigning European Super Cup champions. They are the FIFA Club World Champions. So this is a poster club in every sense of the word. And to be in this severely compromised position where business is going to be severely affected, and their owner is persona non grata on British soil, and the sale that was to have been pushed through did not go through in time, beating this deadline. And even if they had signed something, an agreement with a likely buyer, the sale couldn't have gone on because there were regulatory things that needed to have been done for the sale to have been completed. So even if on the day he announced that he was giving the club to a trust, to the group of trustees, including Lord Sebastian Coe, the head of World Athletics, even if the club had been sold then, the sale still would not have gone through up to this point, given the severity of the situation and the regulatory race that needed to be run. So it's bad for Chelsea, it's bad for the Premier League, it's bad for Roman.
And what I will say is it's not something that they're accustomed to, George, because with this special license, you see the money cap that I read out, this is not something that Chelsea and their team and their players and their coaches and whatnot are used to. So it will take a lot of getting used to. Remember, they're accustomed flying on their jets, you know, they've given the best treatment. They stay at luxury hotels, which obviously will exceed the cap that they have to work with now. So it will take a lot of getting used to, George and Lance. And of course, it will also prompt the players now to start to think about their future. Do I really want to be limited under what's really taking place here behind the scenes? Or would I rather just go to a team where I can ply my trade and be treated like the royalty that I'm used to?
But where will the players go, though?
Well, that's the question for them to figure out.
No, meaning they can't go anywhere because on the transfer ban, Chelsea can't get involved in any transfer activity.
Yeah.
So no player can go anywhere.
I know, but this only lasts until May 31st, and
right.
then they will work through. So, I mean, it
right.
already puts the thought in their brain.
Right, but so the fact of the matter is this, if this club is sold, then there's no problem because whomever comes in can ensure that the club as a going concern remains operational. And the fact is that it's not as if players won't get wages. Players want to respond to a few things, you know. When a man when a man doesn't see money in his account, then he starts getting
bottom line. Money,
you understand? So
line.
they get that and they're fine. And they understand the situation the players do. I'm sure agents will now be earning their money on the phone, explaining the situation to their high value clients. But guess what? For some of them, it's an excuse for them to get away from the club. And I'm looking at Lukaku, who has been hankering after a way to leave. So you know, this is a perfect situation for, look, I can't stay here because of the uncertainty. You know, I have to find a new club.
George, nevertheless, my boy was leaving. He's unhappy.
Given the path that this story is taking, though, George and Mariah, should Newcastle or Manchester City fans have any reason to be uneasy given the Saudi Arabia link, and we don't know what the future holds, any potential trouble that may arise that could send, you know, that platform in a similar direction.
No, it's a totally different situation. Russia decided to wage war on a fellow European country, a NATO ally but not a NATO member, so that makes things different. The petrostates, Saudi Arabia, well, Saudi Arabia owns both Newcastle and Manchester City. They are very much in bed and happy with the UK government and the big powers in the world. There is not a chance that this happens to them unless the Saudis invade somewhere, and they have no army to so do.
Yeah.
They have been fighting proxy wars in Yemen and in other parts of the world for a long time. But yeah, no,
So
absolutely not.
Yemen is small scale.
Listen, it's funny how the media has gotten down to the Russia-Ukraine war,
Yes.
and lamenting people dying
Invasion.
and war, and well, it's still a war because the Ukrainians are fighting back.
Okay,
yeah?
okay.
So the fact is that it's funny how the media has taken this up and everybody's talking about it. The things that are happening in Ukraine have been happening in Yemen for years now, and famine and hunger and everything, and nobody says anything because they don't look like Europeans. And you remember the part of the coverage that said, can you be correspondents on big TV in the USA? Yes, the fact about this war, this invasion, is people who look like us are fleeing, people who look like us are hungry. And I'm saying, yeah, listen to that kind of coverage. But yeah, the short answer to your question, nah, Newcastle, Manchester City fans, nothing to worry about.
Well, thanks for that. On that note, I'm going to take a quick break and come back. Nothing to worry about.